Peter?
It's based on the 1020 tractor, and then they've adapted a track, set of tracks to it. Fairly crude way of doing it, the way if you walk around and have a look how they've adapted it, but it works well. Very first, the steering clutches that they were trialling, and that's why I've ended up with the steering clutches up here, more or less as a prototype. I only had a 2-year build run with these until they modernised things and put the steering clutches where they normally are on any machine today, which is inside the transmission housing.
So quite a uncommon engine. Quite an uncommon tractor with a build run of only 2 years. Not many of them may. We don't know an exact number. Do
no, around 400 in various articles I read. They're very prototype and very crude way of doing it, but they worked, and they turned the tractor, normal wheeled tractor, into a tractor with tracks on it.
And in all fairness, it does look rather beautiful still.
Yeah. No, they've got a bit of style about them, and even though how they've adapted to the system, but they're fairly thin on the ground in Australia. I don't know of any others in Australia unless they've been imported in, but this is probably the only one around for quite some.
Yeah, the only one. So this is the only one in Australia that you know of. If anyone does know of another one, please let us know, because we'll be interested to know.
Yeah, it did come into the country from a friend of mine, and it was many years ago, and it wasn't even half of what you see today. Virtually, when it was getting restored, any sheet metal or tin work was non-existent, right the way through, and all the way along here was virtually rusted out, non-existent. So it got restored back nearly from coming off the assembly line.
Yeah,
with everything. So it was a fairly big restoration. So,
I believe it too. It looks incredible.
Yeah. It's it's not the best to drive. If you've got short legs and baby feet to operate the pedals, it does help. But if you've got long legs, they're
blokes like you and I.
It's you've got the levers here on your pedals, but it's right-hand main clutch, and then you've got your 2 turning brake pedals, and you've got a gear stick in the middle, which you've got to thread your feet around.
Yeah.
And you've got to have your wits about you if you're driving up onto a ramp, or to load them or unload them, is when you try and steer it, or if something goes wrong, you've got to just remember to push your right foot down, not your left foot, otherwise you'll end up with all sorts of trouble.
So used to it.
So spin it, lock the track on you and spin around, and you're in trouble.
Throw you off,
Yeah. Anyway, we'll we'll give her a start anyway. So
run us through the startup procedure.
Yeah, so we'll start her on the little tank here. We'll run on and out anyway for a bit, and turn this tap on. And like anything, I always make sure they're in neutral. So I'll set the Maggie halfway down.
Advance and retard.
So
don't kick that.
Retard up, advance down. I'll go halfway. Just careful, pull the throttle back a bit. I've tripped the magneto over on this.
So they're starting on petrol.
And
then flick.
It's all. They would have been started on petrol and run on kerosene, power kerosene back in the day. But anyway, I've got petrol in both tanks. So.
Okay.
So I've tripped the magneto. Just simply flicked it over so it engages the
impulse. So you have to reset that impulse on.
Once it kicks over, if it fires, it'll flick that trip up.
And
on these Type E4A magnetos.
Does that impulse, will that trip on any firing cylinder, depending, or do you have to get it to number 1 and then set it?
Normally it'd be on number 1.
Okay.
How we've set it, Yeah, it'll definitely trip on the number one when it comes up.
Yeah.
So normally you got to go back around. And
I know a lot of tractors, like older tractors, will only fire on say 1 or 2 cylinders to start with.
Yeah, but then you get some that'll fire on the opposite cylinder, which is not. But that's why you got to be so careful when you crank them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Know where you try and work out where the trip is on it. So and the other thing, and we'll give her a bit of choke. And she should fire fairly well. She goes for us. Another tip I see a lot of people do when they crank things.
Wrap their thumb around it.
Put your thumb on this side. Not that side.
Yeah.
Otherwise your thumb will be pointing back that way. If it backfires on you.
That's alright.
Sorry. And then pull up only. Pull up on it.
That's the benefit of having an impulse.
This one used to click, it doesn't click anymore.
good to see it out at field days and getting out and about.
Yeah, once people sort of work out what they dubbed the camel humps back in the day with the steering clutch housings. Yeah. Those two humps that go up there, that's what they were nicknamed. Camel hump.
Camel hump.
Yeah, T20 camel hump. Yeah. Model 20, sorry, not a T20. Yeah, but anyway, no, she runs pretty sweetly, so yeah, she's